The online art community is a safe haven to millions of artists and creatives. Though not without flaw, it remains as an online home to many. With the rise of AI art and the conservative shift online, bringing in harsher judgment towards artists and those that don't fit within the status quo, what will the future of the online art community look like? Will the online community merge with the harsher nature of online nowadays? Will AI art destroy the passion of every single artist, knowing that the skills they desire to have can be recreated in like 2 seconds? Or will humanity's creatives persist past these issues? Personally, I think it's going to be a little bit of everything. I'm Saba Black Sheep. Have you any soul? No sir, no sir. But today we're going to be exploring the possible reality we chronically online people might find ourselves in the next 10 years or so. How the art community might die out. I'd like to split this video into 2 sections. The AI takeover and the shift in the environment online. But before we get into all that, consider committing arson on the like and subscribe button, check out the Etsy shop for cool shirt designs, or join the 17+ Discord server to meet a bunch of cool artists like the ones you see on screen now. But without further ado, we begin. AI takeover. AI art has been public enemy number 1 for the online art community since its conception in around 2021 to 2022. And as AI art has consumed more and more art, it's gotten better. The worst part is that it's trained on real art, and the artists weren't given the choice to consent to their work being used to train it. For those numbskulls who compare it to artists taking inspiration from other artists, therefore, AI art's okay. An AI can't exist outside of its database. It copies indiscriminately where humans interpret and personalize to reflect an experience uniquely their own, as they are a living, breathing person. AI doesn't have a personal experience to project. With AI being free for many to use, it has taken a huge toll on the art commission economy. People are more likely to turn to AI to try to recreate their OCs and projects, such as book characters, cover designs, cards, a lot of other things, which greatly impacts the commission economy. And not to mention, AI art can't be copyrighted, so there's potentially legally questionable consequences to this reliance on AI art. Now, one thing we salty artists need to consider is, as sad as it is to lose business, this is merely how the world works. Just as the creation of photography practically nuked the portrait art profession, or how synthetic chemicals turned the piss collectors of the bygone era into, well, a bygone era, professions dying out isn't uncommon, and it's more just a sign to widen your horizon to find new ways to monetize your craft. One thing to also consider is there are still people that paint portraits for a living and make plenty of money off of it. Despite photography making them obsolete, the demand is low, but appreciation for the medium still exists. Though AI art is far more unethical than photography by a landslide, I don't believe being an artist is going to be a lost cause. Even desperate times call for propaganda art.
Y'all AI artists really think you're doing something. You really looked at a program doing all the thinking for you and said, wow, I'm such a creative genius, like you didn't just let a machine chew up 10 images and spit something out while your fat ass sat back with your third energy drink and absolutely zero brain activity. You smooth-brained, microwave-minded, copy-pasting ass bitch. You are not an artist. You are a tech support ticket with delusions of depth. A shortcut in human form. Like, I'm sorry, but just because your heavy-ass fingers couldn't grip a pencil without going out of breath doesn't mean we need to tear down entire artistic communities that have existed for centuries. Real artists be out here putting in blood, sweat, cum, and actual tears for their craft, and your stupid ass thinks pressing a button is somehow equivalent? Bitch, you couldn't even survive one college critique without crying into your vape pen. You want recognition without the pain, the sleepless nights, the calloused fingers, the fucking heartbreak of seeing your work ignored and still pushing through. No, you're just allergic to effort and addicted to participation trophies. And then y'all have the audacity to say shit like, it's not that deep. Of course it's not that deep. Nothing is ever deep for your smooth-brained, hollow-ass head. You couldn't conceptualize depth if it smacked you in the face with a sketchbook. You think just because you slap a prompt into an AI and get something shiny back, you're a goddamn visionary? No, bitch, you are lazy, terminally online NPC who thought creative just meant his Wi-Fi. Actual artists are putting in decades of labor, mastering anatomy, color theory, lighting, expression, storytelling, shit you couldn't even spell. But go off, tell me more about how you deserve the same recognition because you've typed a vibe into Midjourney. You didn't create art. You played a digital game of Mad Libs and called it a personality. You're like a toddler in a chef's hat yelling, "I made dinner," when all you did was microwave some chicken nuggets. And not even good ones, those soggy-ass, freezer-burned nuggets that leave shame on your tongue and grease on your soul. You want to be seen like the masters, but you don't want to suffer like them. Van Gogh cut his goddamn ear off for art. You cried because Photoshop was lagging. And I swear to God, if I hear one more of you dead-eyed, pixel-fondling, soul-deficient freaks say, well, I just don't want to spend 20 years learning to draw. Of course you don't. You don't want to learn. You don't want to grow. You want instant results without a fraction of the pain. And you think that's enough to stand on the same stage as someone who's been grinding since they were 5? You think you deserve to be in the same sentence as artists who sacrificed their entire damn identities to create? Absolutely not. You talentless, shortcut chasing, AI bootlicking, lazy-ass passenger in your own creative process. Get your day ass off the fucking stage. You are not a creator. You are a consumer with delusions of grandeur. Deep down you know you're lazy. That's why you're so fucking defensive. That's why you say it's not that deep. Because if you did go deep, you'd find absolutely nothing. Just a cold, empty cavern echoing with the sounds of you pretending you earned something. But whatever, keep pretending. Keep posting your little AI collages and calling them pieces. But just know, every time you do, a real artist out there is laughing, crying, and still grinding harder than you ever will, and nature's just waiting for y'all to disappear so it can fucking heal.
Especially since AI art has hit a plateau. Most shows and manga and the content people consume is going to be normal handmade art, as AI can't be copyrighted and can't be precise. The art community and its lucrativeness is going to change, but it's not going anywhere, I think. So if you're passionate about art, it isn't out of reach. Just keep in mind that there are many extra skills it takes to succeed in these fields as the playing field shifts. Let's say you want to be a professional indie comic maker. Well, you need to know how to write, pace, frame, spell, and market. So before choosing the artisan's path, I believe it's important to reflect on all the skills it may take to truly succeed in this field. People often underestimate quite a bit about the amount of skills and dedication it takes to make it in such a competitive field like art. You can know how to draw the most beautiful face in the world, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't market yourself and you don't know your audience and you don't know how to, well, draw the rest of the body. Many artists are scared for what AI art means for the future of their craft, including me at times. Knowing something you work tirelessly for thousands and thousands of hours over years and years is a bit dreadful to face when it might all be taken away. I think the rise in AI art will cause the number of artists to dwindle in time a bit. A few years ago, everyone and their gay furry son were artists, and that's great, but I think the rise of short-form content killing attention spans, so people can't even sit down and draw without having like 20 different things going on, the mean nature of comment sections nowadays, and the accessibility to creating professional level art in 2 seconds is honestly just going to kill a lot of people's passion for the craft. The shift in the online environment. Now, be you an artist sleuthing around the art community or just some random person digging around the web, if you've been online for at least 5 years, you've more likely than not noticed the huge shift in people's demeanor towards content, especially content unconventional to mainstream media. It is quite hard to find any video that doesn't have some hate on it or unneeded comment. And due to artists often taking up phantom spaces and being the type of individuals normally targeted, artists that are young, beginner, or have unconventional muses or topic for their work get an unseemly amount of hate nowadays. There's always been hate towards that in the past, but due to the mainstreamification of the online sphere, you just get so much more of it. I will often be scrolling Instagram Reels and see the most drop-dead gorgeous animation meme or animatic ever, only to open up the comments and see the most vile, hateful, and annoying comments known to man. I, who post on Instagram every day, have gotten thousands of hate comments and DMs telling me to KMS. For me, I'm not horribly bothered by that, but I can't imagine being in that situation at the age of 13. Knowing so many young and beginner artists are facing such harsh judgment on a daily just because they dared to have a passion for art, I think is going to have a huge impact on the amount of artists we see joining the art community and remaining in it. The more and more hostile art spaces become, the less likely young artists are to join them. I already know quite a few artists that refuse to post online and often lose all passion for the craft with no one to share it with. Mostly just due to unwarranted criticism and hate they know they're gonna get. I don't think the culture online will always be this hostile, as it has come with the conservative lean. I think as we sway back to open-minded values, the online sphere will get softer. I don't think we as artists have something to be that dreadfully afraid of. We will make it through. Keep on creating, keep on innovating. Even though I see there being a lot less people within the community in the future, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing either. Is it sad many artists will lose their passion, or many people won't ever experience that passion? Yeah, quite so. But with less people creates more demand. So for those who do stick with it may find unseen benefits. That's just my prediction though. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily correct. We'll have to wait and see to know for a fact, but in the meantime, pick up those pencils. The fight ain't over yet, brothers. But that's all I have for today, folks. If you like my art, consider commissioning me. You can reach out to me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Discord, all linked in the link tree and description. You got work tomorrow, or school, or ranting about the artisan end times. But as always, don't dream about wheat-based byproducts.
Je m'appelle mademoiselle noire, et qu'on va pour la voix.